They're doing construction? Why are we doing construction right when I sit down to film? Seriously? Hi guys, welcome back. Today I am here with my July TBR. As usual, this is a little ambitious, and especially considering the fact that I'm going to be doing quite a lot of traveling in July, we will see how much of this I actually get to. I have 2 books on my TBR that I am definitely going to be reading in the month of July, and then a lot of other stuff that I am hoping to get to, and a readathon I am hoping to participate in. So let's go ahead and talk about it. First thing that I want to share is the pick for my Patreon book club in July. This was voted on by my patrons. This month we are going to be reading The Bride Test. Oh my god, it literally just started. Excuse the construction. We're going to be reading The Bride Test by Helen Hoang. This is an adult romance. I have not actually read anything by her before. I know she also wrote The Kiss Quotient, but this is a standalone, so this will be my first book by her. I'm really looking forward to it. It's about a woman who is a mail order bride from Vietnam who comes to America to marry a man who is autistic. And I do know that her books are own voices for autistic representation, so I'm really looking forward to it. I've heard really, really good things. Thank you so much to all of my patrons. I'm really excited to discuss this with you. And a special shout out to my VIP patrons at the new release hardcover level and above, currently including Jessie from the Tiny Tea Set, who is wonderful, so go check out her channel as well. So really excited to be reading this in the month of July. Night Film was a little bit of a fail, so we have high hopes for this one. And if any of you are interested in joining in, the link to the Patreon is always in the video description down below. Next, I am planning on participating in the Dragons and Tea book club this month, run by Melanie from Mel's Theany and Amy from A Court of Crowns and Quills, and this month's pick is one that I've been meaning to get to anyway, so I'm very excited for it. This is Love from A to Z by S.K. Ali. I really loved her debut novel, Saints and Misfits, and this is her second book. It's a contemporary romance that also deals with more serious issues like Islamophobia, so very much looking forward to that and planning on participating. Then my friend Holly over at Holly Hearts Books is going to be hosting a really cool sounding readathon called Medieval-a-thon, and I think this is taking place throughout the entire month of July, so you read as many books as you want to or can that fits these challenges. The focus is really on reading fantasy, but other types of books can fit as well. So I'm going to show you the few books that I think I might read to meet some of the challenges. And a couple of these do meet multiple things. What's kind of fun about the way that this is structured is that some challenges give you different pieces of your armor, some challenges give you weapons, and yeah, it's just kind of cool. So the first book that I'm hoping to read for that is for the challenge of a book with a red on the cover, and this is to give you a red cape to go with your armor. This is The Pursuits of Lord Kit Kavanaugh by Stephanie Lawrence. This is an adult historical romance that I've been wanting to read for a while. It does have red on the dust jacket, which is the prompt, so I know that one is not fantasy, but I do plan on picking that one up. Next, in order to get a helmet, you have to read a book with a dragon on the cover, and so I'm going to pick up this beast. I do have the audiobook, which I'll probably listen to. This is The Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. I know I probably should have read this a while ago because I did get one of these gorgeous arcs, but it's so intimidating. I mean, this thing is a beast, you guys. So yeah, it's like 900 pages, but like I said, I do have the audiobook. They were running a special on it through Audible, and so I picked up a copy that way. So I think I'm going to be listening to this and see how I do with it. Then to get armor on your legs, I can't think of what it's called, the prompt is to read a thick paperback. And so this is my indie pick for the month. Child of the Cates by Beth Wengler. This is a indie published fantasy. It's like 470 something pages long, so it's definitely a thick paperback, and it's one I'm excited to get to. She's actually a viewer who asked if I'd be interested in reviewing this, and I'm very interested. It is a gender-flipped retelling of the story of Moses and the Exodus, but through a fantasy story, so I think there's some magic, and it is a woman who's kind of this Moses character, so I'm really interested in the project of this and very excited to pick this up. So I may pick this one up to get my leg armor. Bracers, is that what they're called? No, I don't know, guys. I don't know. I'm not a knight. To get foot armor, you're supposed to read a book that has yellowed over time, and maybe we could also count Priory of the Orange Tree, because it has been sitting on my shelves for a year. So that is one that's been sitting there for a while, so we're gonna count that towards getting my feet covered up with some armor. And the final piece of armor that I need to make sure that I'm fully covered is the chest plate. And so in order to get this, you have to read a shiny book. And so for this, I'm going to be reading The Escape Room by Megan Golden. This is going on sale in August, and it is an adult thriller about some people who get trapped in an escape room and there's a murder. Yeah, so I'm really excited for this one. I think it's going to be super fun. I need is a crown, and for this I got to read a book about a character who is fighting for the throne. And for this, I'm going to be reading A River of Royal Blood by Amanda Joy. This is a YA debut fantasy that's coming out in October, and I'm really excited for it. I read the first couple chapters of it. I think it's going to be super fun, and it's about two sisters who must battle for the throne, so this is a really good pick for that. The next prompts are things to get your weapons, and I'm going to be picking 2 weapons for this round. The first is daggers, and to get this, you need to read a book with something pointy on the cover. So again, A River of Royal Blood, we've got a dagger. So there's something pointy on the cover with this, and interestingly enough, this will also give me a bow, because to get a bow, you need to read a book with elves in it, and this has elves in it. So there you go, that's the portion of my TBR that I'm hoping to get to for Medieval-a-thon. This may change, but I think that's pretty good. 5 books, and they meet like pretty much all the challenges. Most of the challenges. I think it's going to be super fun. So all of the information about Medieval-a-thon will be linked in the video description down below if any of you guys want to join in and participate. But of course I have more books that I want to read. Like I said, I am going to be traveling quite a bit, so I don't know how many of these I will get to, but these are some of my top priorities of arcs that I have that I really want to read soon. First up, I have Wild Savage Stars by Christina Perez. This is the follow-up to Sweet Black Waves, which was one of my favorite books last year. I loved it. That was a feminist, witchy retelling of Tristan and Isolde, told from the perspective of Branwen, Isolde's lady's maid. And Wild Savage Stars continues the story. This one is coming out in August. I have a September release that would be a great nonfiction pick, and it's super short. This is The Other Side, Stories of Central American Teen Refugees Who Dream of Crossing the Border by Juan Pablo Villalobos. And this one was sent to me from Fierce Reads. Actually, this Wild Savage Stars was through Fierce Reads as well, but this was sent to me for review from Fierce Reads, and it is nonfiction accounts of teenagers trying to cross the border into America, so it sounds really interesting. Then this I think is like the perfect sort of beach vacation read, so I may even take this with me while I'm traveling, but I really want to pick up American Royals by Catherine McGee. If I don't get a chance to read it in June, which it's looking like I may not, I really want to pick it up in July. This one's coming out in September, and I think this is going to be super fun. It's an alternate America where instead of becoming president, George Washington became king. And so now 200 plus years later, we have American royals with all the drama, and I am looking forward to this. I have enjoyed Catherine McGee's writing in the past. She does really good juicy stories, and I suspect this one's going to be really fun. I have a book that I am kind of dying to pick up from Orbit. This is The 10,000 Doors of January by Alex E. Harrow. It is absolutely stunning, gorgeous cover, but also I've been hearing rave reviews about this book. I think it's a debut. It's an adult fantasy that is a portal fantasy about a young woman who's living in a mysterious old house, and she finds this book, and yeah, I don't know, I've been hearing great things about this. Again, this is coming out in September through Orbit, so I really want to pick that one up soon. We'll see. I am also hoping to read All the Bad Apples by Moira Fowley Doyle. This one's coming out in August. I want to read this soon too so that I can send this off to Julie from Pages and Pens, because I know she was really interested in it, so hopefully I can get this read in July. This is like a YA thriller that's kind of feminist and sounds super creepy, so I'm interested in that one. I have a July arc that I wanted to give away from Tortine. This is The Heartwood Box by Anne Aguirre, and this sounds super creepy. It's like YA horror, and yeah, in a tiny terrifying town, the lost are never found. So this should be fun. And then finally, because in July part of my traveling will be going to Southern California and going to Disneyland for a couple of days, I want to read A Crash of Fate by Zoraida Cordova. This is a new story in the Star Wars universe about Galaxy's Edge, which is a place in the new Star Wars land they're opening up in Disney, and so I really want to read this and kind of know the story before I go, so this is on my list. So there you go. Those are all of the books that are on my official TBR for July. We'll see what I end up reading. I may end up having a heavier audiobook month because of the traveling, but you never know. Like, traveling is hit and miss. Sometimes I get more reading done than I expect, and sometimes I don't get like any done. So that's 14 books, which I'm sure I will read 14 books, but whether I will get to all of these physically is a whole other question. So we'll see how it goes, but I'm really looking forward to it, and I'm excited about all these books. So I know it's a lot of arcs this month. Usually it's not quite so many, but I think because I just came back from BEA and BookCon, I'm like excited about the new arcs that I have, and so that is filling out more of my TBR than usual. Hopefully after a little bit that'll calm down. So talk to me in the comments down below. Let me know any of your thoughts on the books that I mentioned and what you're planning on reading in July. And for your question of the day, are you planning on traveling at all over the summer? And if so, what are your plans? Let me know. I will be probably doing some travel vlogs while I'm there, so hopefully that'll be fun content for you guys. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you want to see more, and click that bell icon that you see anywhere on the screen to be notified every time I release a new video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time.